Let me get your attention, folks. The stock market is going to drop. It's going to go down. It may even crash. All right? I'm smiling because we know that's going to happen at some point. Okay, so I want to go through what that means for us and what opportunities are actually involved. So first of all, quickly, if the market going down affects your stress level, if it keeps you up at night, then the first thing you should do is actually review that risk level and adjust accordingly. You may be taking on more risk than you're comfortable with, okay? If you can afford to take less risk and the markets drive you crazy or that scares you hearing the market is going to go down, we may want to reevaluate how you're investing. That's first. But, okay, I want to get into some opportunities. But when the market does drop, and it will, there are actually opportunities hidden in the chaos. And most advisors say, and I can pick on advisors, and I am one, don't do anything. We've all heard that before. Don't do anything. Let it go. All right? I've lived through several down markets, and many times that is actually not the right answer. Maybe we should actually do something, right? So I want to give you 4 things that you can do when the markets drop because it is going to happen. Okay, number 1, harvest losses for tax purposes. Already sounds boring, but it is a big deal. Selling an investment at a loss can offset gains elsewhere or help reduce your taxable income. You can even reinvest in a similar fund to stay invested and still capture the deduction of a loss. We just need somebody that's paying attention to that in the right type of account. So number 1, when the markets go down, harvest losses for tax purposes. Number 2, rebalance. When stocks fall, and we'll say bonds hold steady or whatever the safer part of the investments are, the allocation drifts. It goes one way or the other. So think about starting a portfolio, your investments in a 50-50 pie chart. The market drops. Now it's 70% safer stuff, 30% stocks. We're not 50-50 anymore. What can we do? We can rebalance back to those target levels, okay? So we're going to sell off 20% from the safer stuff and buy into the stocks while they're down, okay? And it forces us to sell what we'll call expensive and buy what is, I'll say, cheap. And it's a disciplined way to buy low and sell high, okay? So those are our first 2. Harvest losses for tax purposes, number 1, and number 2 is rebalance. All right, number 3, Roth conversions. I keep talking about this. When account values are temporarily lower, you can convert more shares for the same tax cost, okay? Locking in future tax-free growth when the markets recover. Easy math. You convert $100,000, market has gone down, we pay taxes on it now. Yes, that's the downside, we pay taxes, but the markets are down. We get it into a Roth. Now it jumps back up over time. We converted while it was low, paid our taxes while the dollar amount was lower. As it goes back up and grows, that money is all yours. It's now tax-free, okay? So that was number 3, Roth conversions. Number 4, invest cash. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, this volatility will give you a chance to buy great companies that are maybe on sale. So the future belongs to those who invest when others are fearful, all right? So there's 4 things. And let me give you this. 2 things you should not do, okay? Don't cash out. I've seen this too many times. Cashing out will lock in the temporary losses and makes recovery almost impossible, right? If we cash out and we don't let it grow and we move it to something paying a very low interest rate, which is what most folks do when they cash out, we almost never break even, okay? So 1 thing you should not do, don't cash out. Number 2, don't stop contributing. Keep adding to the 401ks and the IRAs and the brokerage accounts, whatever you're doing, keep adding those monthly or week, whenever you're doing it. Keep adding. You are buying at lower prices, okay? So down markets create emotion. It makes the news, but it also creates opportunity. So if you have a plan and stay disciplined and you make sure the next correction works for you, which you can do, we're going to make sure it works for you, not against you, okay? I actually like that. Stay disciplined, my friends. And make it a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Great Wealth Transfer Podcast. If this podcast resonates with you, reach out to 6 Point Financial Partners at 585-485-6048 or email dpulcini at 6pointfp.com.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. All investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Results will vary. Past performance is no indication of future results or success. Market conditions change continuously. Information here is provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither 6 Point Financial Partners, Private Client Services, nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of 6 Point Financial Partners. They do not necessarily represent those of Private Client Services, RFG Advisory, their employees, or their clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by 6 Point Financial Partners or RFG Advisory, or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives through Private Client Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory LLC, RFG Advisory, or RFG, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services, 6 Point Financial Partners, and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place.